Are you looking to move abroad? Well, you might be surprised to hear me say, wait, don't do it. A move abroad isn't right for everyone. And if you find yourself in one of these 7 situations, then maybe moving abroad isn't the right decision for you. Hey there, if you're new here, my name is Cepee, rhymes with peppy from SheHitRefresh.com. And I teach women age 30 and over how to move abroad, which is exactly what I did back in 2015 when I moved from Texas to Spain at the age of 35. I am now 42 and I'm still calling Spain home. Thank you so much for tuning into my channel. On this channel, I talk about moving abroad specifically for US citizens. And I'd first love to invite you to like this video, turn on notifications, and subscribe to my channel so that you don't miss out on any future move abroad content. So y'all know I am all about empowering you to move abroad and live your best life. But today I am taking a stab at trying to talk you out of it, which is kind of strange, but I do believe that a move abroad is not for everyone, or at least right now may not be the time for you to move abroad if you fall under one of these 7 scenarios that I'm going to talk about in just a bit. But before we do that, I just want to give my weekly shout out. And this week's shout out goes to Sky Zoomies, who commented on my video, the 11 easiest work visas for Europe. And Sky says, the Czech Republic is Central Europe, not Eastern Europe. Thank you so much for that correction. I don't know why I keep calling the Czech Republic Eastern Europe. I need to go in and fix all my content where I have that written down and make a note to not say that again in the future. So thank you so much. Now, if you'd like to get a shout out, just comment or post your question on any of my videos, and you never know, you might be the next shout out that I pick. All right, let's dive into today's topic. Here are 7 reasons why you should not move abroad. Number 1 is you don't have a job. So it's no secret that moving abroad is gonna cost money, so having a steady income is key. Now that is unless you are independently wealthy and can just live off your savings for the rest of your life. But that's probably not most of our situations. And I get it because I have been there. You may want to move abroad so bad that you just want to throw caution to the wind and just want to quit your job and leave what's next up to chance. But I just want to tell you, I do not recommend moving abroad if you do not have a job already or a job lined up. Even if you think, okay, I have some money saved, don't do it because 1, you're going to run out of money really fast. You'd be so surprised how quickly the money goes, from your living expenses to traveling to unexpected expenses and more. And 2, even if you have some savings, sure, you can take a sabbatical, but you cannot take an indefinite sabbatical if you're not financially set up to do so and don't know when your next job is. It's just going to take a huge mental and emotional toll on you. I mean, just think about it. Being abroad, stressing about money, not working, feeling like you don't have any purpose, and then trying to find a job on top of that is super challenging. And trying to find a job abroad, whew, that's like next level stress. Trust me, it's gonna have a negative impact on your well-being. I've been there and I don't want that for you. All right, let's take a little caveat here and just touch on why it's difficult to find a job abroad if that's maybe what your plan was. Number 1, finding a job abroad is not just about sending your resume and going on interviews. There's going to be a huge obstacle that most people aren't going to be able to get over, and that is getting a work visa abroad. It's very difficult for a US citizen to get hired abroad if you don't already have working papers to do so. So I wouldn't count on that. And second, maybe you have a remote job that you can take abroad, but you need to check with your employer first. But even if you do have a remote job, you're still gonna need a visa to live abroad. So you're gonna have to look into that and see if that's something that you would even qualify for. All right, so I'm not trying to bring you down, and I'm not saying that you have to have the perfect plan in place, but you do need to know what you're gonna do for work. I mean, I left a good job in the US to teach English in Spain at first. And for me, that wasn't a long-term solution, but it was my stepping stone for me to get to the next level. It covered that need of having money coming in while I was getting settled and figuring things out. So to recap, if you don't have a job, don't go. The second reason why you should not move abroad is that you don't have savings. While you don't need to be rich to move abroad, you do need to have some money in the bank. And I always get the $1 million question, how much money do I need to have saved before I move abroad? And the answer is, well, it depends. Whatever number you have in mind, I would say double it. And if you really want me to give you a figure, I would say at the bare minimum, you need to have $5,000 to $10,000 in the bank in savings if you're moving on your own. And even that for some people, or for a lot of people, is gonna feel like a little amount of savings. So try to have as much as you can before you even think about moving abroad. I mean, really, moving abroad without savings is a reckless decision. I mean, have you seen the pictures of those backpackers, Western backpackers in Thailand begging for money because they've run out of it? You don't want that to be you. All right, I get it. A little dramatic, and that probably won't be you, but you get what I mean. As I mentioned before, you're gonna need to not only cover your living expenses, but there are going to be unexpected expenses along the way too. So you just need to have a solution for that. And plus, there's gonna be things that you wanna participate in that you didn't plan for before you left, and you're gonna need money to do that. Not having savings is gonna put you in a vulnerable situation, and again, it's just gonna cause a lot of unnecessary stress. No one wants to be pinching their pennies when they embark on this incredible adventure abroad, so just give yourself some financial slack and save, save, save. If you don't have savings, do not move abroad. Number 3 is you aren't willing to learn another language. So if you're moving to a country where the local language is different than yours, then you need to be ready to learn their language. A huge part about living abroad and living in a foreign country is experiencing the local culture. And language is so tied to culture that if you're not willing to learn the local language, you're gonna miss out on so much of this experience. Now, I get it. I know learning languages does not come easy to everyone. And I'm not saying that you have to become fluent in the language, but you definitely need to learn enough to get by. And if you're looking to live somewhere long-term, you really want to get to a point where you have a high enough level that you can navigate the system and living in a country on your own without having to rely on others. Now, it's gonna take time, it's gonna be hard, you're gonna make mistakes, you're gonna feel stupid, and that's just a part of the process. You just have to keep at it. Learning a local language is only going to enhance your experience. You'll have a better insight into the culture, you'll be able to connect with locals, and also build confidence in yourself to be able to do things on your own. The 4th reason why you should not move abroad is that you can't find a visa that works for you. I said it before and I'll say it again, to move abroad, you're gonna need a visa. So don't even start putting your move abroad plans together if you have not done your visa research. Just because you have a US passport does not mean it's going to be easy or that there is a way to move to your dream country. So for example, a lot of people want to move to the UK and Australia, but you know what? It is super hard to get a visa to move to one of those countries. Why, you may ask? Well, there just aren't really any viable visa options for the average person to move there. Really, you're just looking at student visas, spousal visas, or work visas. And work visas, you're going to have to be a very highly skilled individual to even qualify. So wherever you want to move to, you're going to have to see what visas are available, and not only that, but which visas you qualify for based on your situation. If you can't find a visa for you, do not move abroad. But if you're looking to move to Europe, please check out my visa guide to living in Europe, where I go over the 18 easiest countries to move to based on viable visa options. And there's over 50 different visa options in there for you. Reason number 5 is that you don't understand your tax obligations. Did you know, as a US citizen, your worldwide income is subject to US income tax no matter where you reside? That means that even if you move abroad, you still have to file taxes in the US forever. So that doesn't necessarily mean you have to pay, but you do have to file. So that's the US. But if you're living abroad, what about taxes there? Well, if you're living somewhere full-time, you are most likely on the hook to file and possibly pay taxes there too. So taxes vary from country to country. So I can't tell you what you can expect in terms of how much you're gonna have to pay, but knowing if you will need to file abroad and how much is really gonna depend on a few different things, including how much you earn, your assets, and how many days you have resided in a country abroad. So do your research and ask your accountant or tax attorney about double taxation agreements. The US has these agreements with many countries around the world so that you're not double taxed. And find yourself a certified expert in expat taxes so that you can understand what your future tax requirements may be. So again, don't move abroad if you don't know what your tax obligations may be. And if you need help, check out My Expat Taxes. They specialize in helping US citizens who who live abroad file their taxes. All right, we are getting close to the end here. The sixth reason why you should not move abroad is that you're not ready to deal with endless bureaucracy. So I'm not going to sugarcoat it. The amount of bureaucracy you have to deal with before, during, and after your move is something that most people are not prepared for. And it makes sense. I mean, there's a lot of paperwork that goes into getting permission to live in another country and being able to stay there. And it all starts with your visa application. You're gonna have to visit tons of offices in person and online, request documents, submit documents, and you're just gonna have a lot of patience and perseverance to ride the visa wave. Even if you get a lawyer to help you out, there's still going to be some things that you're gonna have to do yourself when it comes to requesting documents. And then once you move abroad, the paperwork does not end. There's gonna be tons of bureaucracy to get your resident card and other documents that may be required of you. So just be ready to be running around your new country, making appointments, going from office to office, having one civil servant tell you one thing only to find out that they were wrong and someone else telling you something else, requesting documents from all these different places, paying bank fees, and possibly doing all of this in another language. And that doesn't even get us to renewing your visa, which you're gonna have to do after living abroad for a couple of years. So there's even more paperwork down the line if you're looking to stay. So if you are not ready or prepared to deal with bureaucracy, then do not move abroad. All right, we're here. Number 7, the last reason why you should not move abroad. What do you think it is? Well, I'm just gonna tell you, and that is you should not move abroad if you do not like spending time alone. The truth is, when you move abroad, you're gonna be spending a lot of time alone. And you know who loves that I just said that? My introverts. Hey! But it's true, if you're moving abroad on your own, it's going to take time to set up your life there. It's gonna take time to make friends, and friends who aren't just acquaintances, but people who really get you, right? And to build that community can often take years. I know for me here in Spain, it took 2.5 years to find my people. Now, yes, I had acquaintances and I was hanging out with people for those first 2.5 years, but I really didn't find the people who became almost my family abroad until that 2.5 year mark. And that is a long time to be spending a lot of time alone. Luckily, I like being on my own. But you're going to have to be proactive when it comes to making friendships or even dating. Things are not just gonna happen on their own. And if you're not moving abroad for school or work, which most of us aren't, those are kind of the best places to meet people organically. If you're not in that situation, you're gonna have to put a lot of time and effort to meet people. Otherwise, you're gonna be spending a lot of time alone. And don't get me wrong, there's nothing wrong with spending time on your own, but for some people that can be a real struggle, especially, when you are abroad by yourself so far from all of the comforts of your family and friends and community. Especially when life gets hard abroad, when you're feeling homesick or doubting your decision, if you don't have anyone that you can turn to or anyone you can connect with, you can feel really, really lonely. And again, that's okay. I just want you to know that this is part of it, feeling alone and feeling lonely. And if that terrifies you, then maybe a move abroad isn't the best thing for you, at least right now. Or maybe if it terrifies you, it's the perfect reason to move abroad. All right, and that's it. Those are the 7 reasons why you should not move abroad. If any of those applied to you, if you feel like you have been called out, let me know in the comments below. I want to hear why you should not move abroad. And if this is not you and you need more resources to help you move abroad, again, please check out my digital book, I'm Out of Here, an American's Ultimate Visa Guide to Living in Europe, where I go over the 18 easiest countries to move to in Europe based on viable visa options. And if you need more personalized help, come join my Move Abroad Now Bootcamp, where I help women age 30 and over make a move abroad in the next 6 to 12 months. And if you need one-on-one help, I also do one-on-one consulting. If you're a woman age 30 and over, please join my free Facebook community, She Hit Refresh, where you'll meet thousands of other like-minded women and find tons of support, inspiration, and resources to help you with your move abroad. And as always, if you enjoyed this video, please give me a like, subscribe to my channel, and turn on notifications so that you don't miss out on any future move abroad content.